Well, another week of NFL action is in the books. That is 11 weeks down and only 6 more weeks remaining in this 2014 NFL regular season. So let me take a look back at the week that was in week number 11. I'm going to start off with the big storylines. And to me, there are a couple of them. First is that we're 6 weeks out from the end of the regular season. And right now, the playoff picture and divisional races all throughout the NFL are just a complete jumble. There are so many teams so close to each other. And when you look at it, 6 out of the 8 divisions, with New England in the AFC East and the Cardinals in the NFC West being the exceptions, all 6 of the other divisions in the NFL either have a tie at the top or there's one game of separation between the first and second place team. That's really good. It makes for some really compelling football down the stretch of the season, which is always a good thing. And the other thing that really stands out to me now, we're 11 weeks through the season, and you basically have a situation to where in the NFC, unless you're playing in the NFC South, you could be 4-6 and be in first place. To be a wild card team in the NFC is going to require you more likely than not to win 11 games. 10 games, whereas the Cardinals last year went 10-6 and they missed the playoffs. This year, 10-6 probably for sure isn't going to get you into the playoffs, and 11-5 could potentially not be enough if you're a wild card team. That's incredible. And you look at the AFC, more likely than not, it's going to take at least 10 wins to make the playoffs in that conference as well, either as a divisional winner or as a wild card team. I mean, the talent and quality at the top of the NFL this year has been very, very good. Now, let me take a look at some of the winners and losers from the week that was. Now, when I start off with the winners, I've probably got to go to the St. Louis Rams. I wish I would have picked them ahead of time, as I referenced that Denver could really struggle with St. Louis's ability to generate pressure with their front four. St. Louis took it to Denver. Denver disappeared. Sometimes they have a tendency of doing that against those teams structured and built like a St. Louis that can generate pressure with their front four. You look at the Rams, and this is the best 4-6 football team in the NFL, and you say if they had a little bit better quarterback play and a little bit more on offense, this team would be really scary. If they also weren't playing in the NFC West, it probably would make a huge difference. But this is a St. Louis Rams team that has now beaten the Seahawks. Just think about this. They've beaten the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Denver Broncos. Even though they're 4-6, that is a good building block for years to come, knowing that they have beaten some of the very best teams in the National Football League. Another winner, I think, has to be the San Francisco 49ers. You know, you look at the Seahawks losing, the 49ers find another way to win another game in a kind of ugly fashion. It helps that Eli Manning threw 5 picks. This is a San Francisco 49ers team after a lot of uncertainty about them. They're sitting at 7-4 and they're right in the mix in the playoffs. There's no question about it. And in terms of another big winner, you've probably got to go with the Green Bay Packers. Their second straight game of scoring over 50 points. This team is on fire right now. This team is scary. And they could do a lot of dangerous things with that quarterback and that offense. There's no doubt about it. Now, talking about some of the big losers from the week that was. In terms of big losers, I think you got to go with the Denver Broncos. I mean, here you've got San Diego wins, so they're 6-4. The Chiefs beat the Seahawks, they're 7-3. The Broncos needed to win and keep some separation between themselves and Kansas City and even San Diego, and now the Broncos sit there and go lay an egg on the road against St. Louis. Just not a good performance. Gives me even more validation to fully believe that this team is not making it back to Super Bowl this year. Period. In terms of other big losers, I got to look at the Giants and Eli Manning. 5 picks is 5 picks. That's terrible. This is a Giants team that, after starting off 0-2, rattled off a few wins in a row, and people were really getting positive about them. And then the real Giants of 2014 showed up. This is ugly. The other big loser this week, I'll focus on an individual player, is RG3. He said one of the most ridiculous and dumb dick things I've ever heard of after such a terrible performance by him on Sunday against the Buccaneers of all teams. Talking about the good quarterbacks like the Mannings and the Rodgers don't play well unless their teammates play well, and some dumb shit. Taking zero accountability for his horrendous performance. No, in part, quarterbacks like Rodgers and Brady and Brees and Manning elevate the play of others. And that's part of the reason, you stupid fuck, why those quarterbacks are elite and why a lot of the players in that Redskins locker room probably, frankly, don't like you because you demonstrate zero leadership ability. You love to get those endorsements, but when it comes time to take some accountability, man up, and improve, you say not so much. And that's just that. In terms of some of the stars of this week, I got to go with the St. Louis Rams defense. Again, they held the Denver Broncos to 7 points. That is a star performance. J.J. Watt, another star performance from the hands-down defensive player of the year. Scoring another touchdown. This time he caught Ryan Mallett's first touchdown pass as a starter with the Houston Texans. Incredible stuff. You got to look at Aaron Rodgers and his performance against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Obviously a big star performance. And then Jonas Gray of the New England Patriots. Who saw this coming? 199 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns on the ground Sunday night as the Patriots kind of owned the Indianapolis Colts. It was an impressive performance. Well, that kind of was the week that was in the NFL, week number 11 of the 2014 season. Let me know who you think were the big winners and losers and who were the big stars from the week that was down below in the comments section.